strength and character through adversity. There is a Scandinavian saying, "The north wind made the Vikings." This proverb reminds us that great individuals are forged through adversity, much like how the relentless cold winds shaped the legendary Viking warriors. This idea brings comfort when we face hardships, reinforcing the belief that overcoming challenges builds resilience and strength. Yet, where did we acquire the notion that comfort and stability are prerequisites for happiness? Those who indulge in self-pity often do so even while reclining in the softest chair. History tells us otherwise. It is those who have struggled against the odds, taken full responsibility for their lives, and fought fiercely through difficult circumstances who develop noble character and experience true happiness. What it means to triumph in life. During a concert in Paris, the renowned Norwegian violinist Ole Bull faced an unexpected setback. One of his violin strings snapped mid-performance. However, instead of panicking, he continued playing masterfully with the remaining strings, captivating the audience with his brilliance. Reflecting on this, theologian Harry Emerson Fosdick remarked, "When one string breaks, play with the remaining three. That is life." No life is without its deficiencies. Complaining or despairing does nothing to change the situation. The only way to move forward is to make the most of what we have and carve a path ahead. Life is about making the best use of our resources, despite our setbacks. That is what it means to truly triumph. Turning setbacks into strength. When Robert Hutchins, president of the University of Chicago, was asked how he avoided being overwhelmed by worry, he responded, "When someone throws you a lemon, make lemonade." I always strive to follow this principle. This philosophy encapsulates the essence of resilience, transforming difficulties into opportunities for growth. Yet, many do the exact opposite. They surrender to despair at the slightest hardship, lamenting their misfortune. "Why is my luck so bad?" they sigh, as if external circumstances determine their fate. In contrast, the wise see obstacles as stepping stones, asking themselves, "What can I learn from this setback?" and seeking ways to turn their trials into future success. The true test of wisdom lies not in managing abundance but in discovering advantages within scarcity. This is what differentiates the wise from the foolish. Biographer William Bull, who lost a leg in a train accident, once said, "The important thing is not to make use of what you have that is easy. What truly matters is finding advantages in what you lack." If I could, I would frame these words and display them in every school across the nation. Focus on the present. In the spring of 1871, a young medical student stumbled upon a passage that freed him from the weight of his worries and transformed his life. The words, written by Thomas Carlyle, read, "Our main business is not to see what lies dimly in the distance, but to do what lies clearly at hand." This student, overwhelmed by uncertainties whether he would pass his final medical exams, what his future held, and if he would ever establish his own practice, was deeply moved by this quote. It became the catalyst that allowed him to live fully in the present. That student would go on to become one of the greatest physicians of his time, Sir William Osler, who later founded Johns Hopkins School of Medicine and held the prestigious Regius Professorship at Oxford University. Sealing off the past and future. Years later, William Osler delivered a lecture to Yale students, offering this wisdom. "Some may believe I possess an extraordinary mind, but my friends know that my intellect is quite ordinary." Then, what was the secret to his success? Just months before his Yale address, Osler had crossed the Atlantic on a large passenger ship. The vessel was equipped with a system that, with the push of a button, sealed off different sections with heavy steel doors, creating watertight compartments. He used this analogy to impart a crucial lesson to the students. You are far more magnificent than any great ship, embarking on an even greater journey. Do not dwell on the past or fear the future, it will only drain you. Instead, just as a ship seals off unnecessary compartments to focus solely on the voyage at hand, shut out yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's anxieties. Concentrate on today. This does not mean one should neglect future preparation. Rather, the only way to prepare for tomorrow is by dedicating yourself fully to today. The fleeting moments we must cherish. One of the greatest tragedies of human nature is our tendency to postpone life. We overlook the blooming red rose outside our window, dreaming instead of a rose garden somewhere on the horizon. Why do we deceive ourselves this way? Children say, "When I grow up." Teenagers say, "When I become an adult." Adults say, "When I get married." And the married say, "When I retire." Then, upon reaching retirement, they finally look back and realize that life has passed them by. Life exists in each passing moment. The present is the most precious time we have, yet we learn this lesson too late. The lesson of the dirty dishes. Several years ago, Reverend William Wood suffered from excruciating stomach pain, to the point where he feared he had inherited his father's fatal stomach cancer. However, after undergoing medical examinations, he was surprised to learn that his pain was not physical, it was stress-induced. Wood had shouldered the burdens of his congregation, constantly worrying about responsibilities, until stress manifested in physical pain. Despite his doctor's advice to relax, he found it difficult to free himself from anxiety. Then, one day, while watching his wife happily washing dishes and humming a tune, he had a revelation. If she had thought about all the dishes she would have to wash over the next 18 years, she might have been overwhelmed. But she simply focuses on washing today's dishes, and that is why she can hum while doing it. At that moment, he realized the absurdity of his own mindset. Instead of worrying about yesterday's or tomorrow's problems, he needed to concentrate on today's responsibilities. From then on, his stress and stomach pain vanished. Directing your mind toward success. A mind consumed by scarcity will never be satisfied. Do not torment yourself with thoughts of what you lack. Roman philosopher Seneca wisely said, "As long as you think what you have is insufficient, even if you own the whole world, you will never be fulfilled." When worry clouds your mind, pause and ask yourself, what exactly am I worrying about? When broken down into specifics, you may realize that most of your concerns are trivial. In life, about 90% of things go well, while 10% present challenges. If you want happiness, focus on the 90% and let go of the rest. Conversely, if you want to invite stress, fixate on the 10% and ignore the rest of your blessings. The choice is yours.